What's up, y'all? I'm Mark.
I'm Rafi.
Hey,
Ah,
I think
yeah.
that's the day giveaway. Let me turn this down.
Hey, hey.
Hey, what's up, man? What's up, y'all? It's
Yeah.
another episode of Mark and Rafi with Mark.
And Rafi.
How you doing, man?
I'm all right. It's a nice 4-day weekend and been chilling, relaxing, you know, watching football, watching teams win that I don't want to win, but it is what it is.
Sick. Yeah, I'm on like a 3 week weekend. It's been pretty tight. So it's a blizzard out right now, but that's it is what it is, as you say. So
3-week weekend. I like that. That's
yeah, it's gonna be a couple more weeks before this weekend ends, but I'm gonna figure it out. We got next week. Tomorrow's another day. Today's wrapping up. It's been a minute since we filmed, so glad
yeah.
we can sit down and do this, man. I'm the wildest unemployed person I know. I don't know how my life is this busy. It's never been this busy, and I have nothing to do. So
That's fine. Hey, look, you're staying busy, you're figuring your stuff out, and you're hopefully progressing in life, right?
I mean, yes, I hope, but sometimes I look around, I go, wait a minute, man, this is not right. I should probably be doing better. But
Yeah, yeah.
we'll save that for another day.
Yeah, yeah. Well, anyways, welcome everybody. We're here. We're gonna talk about what we talk about with, that's our YouTube channel, and then getting into some topics. We're kind of getting our little format down. But yeah, there isn't really too much news that need to share other than yeah, it's a 4-day weekend. God bless Martin Luther King. Everyone hopefully
Martin
gets
Luther King, he died for our sins. Let's
right,
go.
right. Right. Everyone go out there and kneel during an anthem or something. No, I'm just kidding. Do not kneel. Um, anyways, our topics today are going to be about money, just in general, making it, are you good with it? All that type of stuff. But before we get into that, I just want to talk about a little bit of our YouTube channel progression. Um, as you'll see, and you've already seen that we've added a little bit of a jingle to the beginning of our intro.
Which, by the way, is sick. Props to you for making the beat and all of it. Loved it.
I really feel like I'm like a jack of all trades, but like I'm a master of none. So anything
I'm
that you,
certainly a master of none, the jack of all. I still haven't got that down yet, but
yeah,
just so everyone is aware, this is 99% Rafi at the moment. I am going to step up at some point. My life is just even more chaotic than it usually is. So, till I rein that in a little bit, Rafi be out here just working. I love it.
well, I love your energy, your charisma, your input, your perspective. All that works out perfectly for this. So, and I've gotten lots of feedback from people that just like they're like, "Oh man, this Mark guy, man, I love his listening to him and stuff." So,
Yeah, but I mean, people like crazy people. I can't help it that I'm crazy, man. It is what it is.
yeah, I
It's
feel it.
crazy watching it. Try being living it, man. It's wild for me.
I feel it. I feel it. Beyond the intro song, also got potentially someone to help us edit. That's totally not, solidified yet, but hey, getting perspectives or people that want to potentially help and assist, that's, always wonderful. And if anyone wants to help or assist, hey, leave a comment, send me an email, leave a message, hit me up on IG,
Smoke
whatever.
signals, facts. We take it all.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, that's what this is all about too, right? Like to build this community, not
Hey,
just self-serving to help us, but what we figure out along the way too. Hey, we're gonna
yeah.
pass it back.
Facts, facts, facts. And then also just as far as the shows, we're going to be dropping these about 3 times a week. So probably like on a Sunday, a Tuesday, and a Thursday, or a Friday-ish. So that way we're not burning ourselves out, and then also we're not just putting out a whole bunch of content that might not be coveted or you want to watch and stuff. So it gives
Yeah.
us time to kind of build up material. It gives us time to edit stuff as well too. So.
Yeah, now that we're what cresting into week three, we realize quickly that okay, filming every day is probably not gonna be sustainable or we're not doing that much right now to have enough to talk about for that, like, as far as growing the channel and all that stuff, because we are week two.
Yeah. No, no, very true. Actually, and that's a good point to just bring up for people that are trying to start their own channel is that, hey, if you do have a full-time job like me, or you have a full-time family like Mark, you might you might be filming every day might be a little bit on the harder side, and even beyond filming, coming up with the topics and then also editing, and then going through and screening and actually getting feedback, doing your own marketing, all that stuff. Like it can be a little bit overwhelming if you're trying to like film every day.
Yeah,
So definitely uh think about that if you're a small time content creator and you're trying to film and do everything else all in one day and stuff. But yeah, with that, we can move on to our topics, which is money, making money, spending money, you know.
definitely good at the latter for sure.
Yeah, yeah, but definitely. I feel
Like
like most
so
people
good at spending it, man. I should get paid to spend it.
I feel like most people are really good at spending money. It's
This
about
is true.
making the money and keeping the money. That's the hard part. Um, I think in my lifetime, making money hasn't necessarily been too hard. Keeping it hasn't been hard, but like I guess making it work for me has been kind of on the hard
Yeah, yeah,
side,
yeah.
you know. So I mean, in your lifetime, I guess, well, first of all, how well are you with money?
Man, I've basically pretty always been awful with money. I've just always been awful with money because like being super poor and all this stuff, not having money and not knowing about money, like once I like stopped being poor, I got money. Like I made enough money to be able to do whatever I wanted. So I didn't really think about money. But like you said, I didn't invest it well. So it worked for me and all these things. Like I have zero financial literacy. Now I'm much more aware of money, how it works. Doesn't mean I'm better with it. And I just now I'm very aware of my bad decisions that I'm making. I'm like, well, whatever, I'm gonna do it anyways. But
Yeah.
yeah, so not great, I would say, honestly. Like, yeah, not
Yeah.
great. But
Yeah. I would say that I'm probably about on average or par with like most Americans, which isn't
yeah,
probably great. It's one of those like, yeah, once again, like, I can make it and I know how to spend it. Like going, definitely going to bars and clubs and spending it on frivolous stuff is easy. But then, as far as like investing it or saving it, it's like, well, I mean, I got this extra 5 grand just sitting here. I mean, what am I supposed to do with it,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
What
No, I think a lot of that too is like just financial literacy when you were young, like growing up in that like kind of poor environment and everyone else is around you poor, like no one really has that financial literacy. And then like through work and all this other stuff, you meet people from different walks of life that like come up with money and all this stuff and like talking to them and it's like just their different perspective on money and all this stuff. Like it's nothing I even like would have thought to think about because like it just didn't exist in my world. So like learning all of those things like that helped teach me down the road like oh man I should be doing way different and better things with my money but if
Yeah.
i if I didn't have that job or that ability to get those things I would have never had access to that information.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you, so like when you were growing up, did your parents or did you take any classes in school that you felt like helped you with any type of financial literacy that
No
that
man,
you
no, buying candy at the candy store before school and selling it for double price at school was like my finance class. I'm like, okay, well, like this is how it works. Like, no, man. My mom had like negative $12 in her bank account since I existed to this day. Like, this is how it works.
Yeah, yeah.
Different
Yeah,
life.
yeah. My parents, like my mom, she worked in the medical field. My dad was in the education field, kind of. And I felt like they did an okay job with kind of like teaching me the value of a dollar. I felt like high school and really just school, K through 12 in general, man, they did not really do a good job of teaching any type of like final fiscal responsibility. Even in my economics courses, it was like, okay, yeah, we're going to focus mainly in on like macroeconomics, which is like, okay, cool, that's nice if I'm gonna, I don't know, be like a congressman or be an economist for like the Fed or something. But what about my own personal
Yeah.
financial responsibility? It's like, not that good. I really didn't feel like I really got a hold of, personal financial stuff until like I went to college later on in life. Not my first stint, 'cause my first stint, I didn't do so well. But when I went to University of North Florida and I studied economics, it was like, oh, okay, cool. I understand a little bit more about being fiscally responsible and stuff. So that was my awakening, you know. Um, for you though, what is there like an what do you think is like an ideal amount and to like make at this point? And I guess speak to it from a your age perspective, being like a middle age, almost 40-ish, person, you know.
I mean, yeah, but that's such a loaded question with that too, because it depends
Yeah.
on where you want to live, right? Like even if you choose America, like one, you're going to need more money than basically most places in the world at that point to live the same kind of life. But
Mhm.
even within America, right, there's huge. So like it really depends on that. But I don't know. Like for the longest time, I was always living my life like, how much money can I make? Let me make the most amount of money. And like when I was doing that, like I did pretty well for myself, and I was making a lot of money. But I was just like, man, like I'm spending this money as fast as I'm making it because I hate what I have to do to make this money, that retail therapy and all these other things. So it didn't ever balance out well. And then like it's probably been finally within like the last year, I was like, how little much money can I make to sustain the lifestyle I want? And then everything after that is extra. And that really helped change with money. But man, yeah. I didn't even forget what your question was, so I don't know.
Well, well, I was asking like what's an ideal amount? And
Yeah.
I was thinking about from the perspective of like where you're at in life now, but then also just I guess quantifying it in like items. So like meaning like for me, I guess for me to answer that question, I would say like, well, I don't know what the exact amount would be, but it would be enough to, have a home. I don't want to like be renting or anything like that. But the home, I don't need like a mansion or anything like that. So, probably like living in Florida, I don't know, like a 400, $500,000 house or something like that. As far as cars go, I'm not, big on, flashy cars or, really anything flashy. So, probably like a, $60,000 car, 70,000. I know that's up there. But
That's a flashy car, dog. What are you talking about? $60,000, $70,000 car.
well, because I'm thinking about a Tesla, right? Like, I'm thinking about the environment, right? So, like, I'm thinking like, one of those nicer Benzes is like up there, like around 90, 100,000, right? I'm
We
trying to get
haven't already figured out Mark came from a much poorer background than Raphael. Our levels of flashy must be very different.
no, no. Your level of flashy is up there because you had that big sneaker collection, man. I have no shoes.
Which I got rid of. It was heartbreaking and devastating. But as I was going through my hippie transformation, I said, Maria Kondoed everything in my life.
Yeah,
I don't need you anymore.
yeah,
I
yeah,
said love. Plus, I'm trying to live in a camper, dog. I can't have 40 pairs of shoes. Like it's just it's not gonna
yeah.
add up.
No, I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. Yeah,
But I was also like material things, it brought me joy. But
yeah,
hippie man, I've transcended that.
yeah. No, 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 no. That's good.
uh-huh.
No, that's awesome.
But I
I
would say
agree
an
with that.
ideal amount of money though, straight up, like if $10,000 a month, you should be able to live pretty comfortably, like anywhere. Like when you start to get to New York, LA, like probably maybe $10,000 a month doesn't cut it there.
Yeah, yeah,
Which is sad because it's like, oh, like that's six figures. But I'm like, you see how expensive America is, man? Like every
yeah,
food, all this other stuff, like six figures isn't what it was, 10, 20 years ago. Like everyone's
yeah,
like, oh, buy a house. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever age group that is, 20 years old is like, yeah, buy a house. I'm like, when you bought a house, it was 90 grand. That same house is now 500 grand with zero updates. The math don't math. Like it just doesn't work anymore.
yeah. No,
It's
that's
sick.
yeah, yeah. And so yeah, yeah. I guess all that's boiled down to is I was gonna say somewhere probably like around like 10 grand a month. Somewhere around 100,000 a year was probably it's probably around a comfortable like that's to live comfortably like where you just
Yeah.
kind of
You
you're
don't
able
have
to
to
do
stress. Like you go out, you're not like really concerned with bills. But
right.
even with that, like you're not like, oh, I can do whatever I want whenever I want. Like no,
Mhm.
you're just like comfortable.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I think you can really manage it at 5 grand a month. But now, if an emergency happens, something like this, now
Yeah.
like depending on how your savings is, you might be in a tight jam for a little while.
Facts. Yeah, yeah. No, the 5 grand a month for me right now. I Yeah, I I wouldn't be able to handle any emergency. I mean, I have savings, so I guess
Zero emergencies.
right. I would just be like praying everything works out perfectly. I'm eating a very regimented meal. Like I'm taking MREs from whoever because like it's like I don't want to spend money on food.
No.
Um, but all right. Well, along with money, there's also debt, and we all seem to accumulate it because we're all Americans, and that's just what we do and stuff like that. Have you ever gotten to a point where it was just like, man, you looked at your debt and you're like, whoa, I have like way too much, credit card debt, or I owe the homies, or or something.
No, yeah, I mean, I think it was twice really. Like one when I was first in the army, because obviously when I was in AIT, I had to buy a car because
Yeah,
I'm an idiot.
that's what we all
And
do.
lo and behold, because the army's there for you, and they give you the tools for success, and they want you to win. They had a program called the Miles Program, where like, of course, we can get you a car no matter what, like whatever, no credit, bad credit, you're getting a car. Because what we do is give it to you at 20% and tax you till you die, and well, actually till you get out and have no paycheck. Then we repossess your car. So I got hit with that, and it wasn't even like it was so much debt, but like I was a private. My entire paycheck was going to this car
Yeah.
that I didn't even go anywhere anyways. And then immediately after that, I went to Korea. I went to Iraq. I never had my car for the rest of the time I was in the army, except for AIT, and I ended up paying like 10 grand over the cost of what it was. It's like man, but that was like debt that stressed me out. But the only other time I had debt like that was when I bought my house, and like I just switched my job. I just came back from Afghanistan, so I took like a job just to be in the States to be normal for a second. So it was a super pay cut, and I was just like, man, that's credit card debt's racking up. I can't catch up. Like I was like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but you figure it out. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be all right. You hope.
Yeah, you hope, right?
But
I was gonna
now zero debt, because I am newly American, so I'm sure it'll start racking up quick. But no mortgage, no none of that. Like no student loans. Thanks,
yeah,
Army.
yeah,
So
yeah. To that point on the joining the army, same thing at the Navy. There's all these like memes out there about just join the Navy starter kit where it has like the brand new Camaro or the Dodge Challenger,
yes, after every deployment, you just see the parking lot full of whatever the new hot cars. I'm like, man, can't even
yeah,
afford to put gas in it. They're like, yeah, that's why it's in the parking lot, homie. That don't move.
exactly, exactly. That's funny. When actually, speaking about the cars, I actually still have I have a 2008 Hyundai Sonata, and I actually got it when I had first got into the Navy back in like 2011. And I still have the same car because what you had just said, it's like whenever I go overseas, it's like I'm not driving it. Like, what am I gonna do with it, right? So, and it's like I've been wanting to like get a new car, but it's like, well, why? This car works, and I mean, I don't drive it unless well, now I'm back at home in Jacksonville, so like I drive to work, but it's like I'm using it to drive to work. I don't want to drive like a Tesla or some, newer car, or even if it's a used car. It's like I don't want to buy a used car just to drive it back and forth between work. And I'm not going out as much as I did like a long time ago, so I don't need to be flashy. Not that I ever did need to be flashy, but so
No,
yeah,
definitely.
huh?
Remember, I had that little red Saab in Belgium, man. I paid $1,000 for that thing. I mean, it was gonna blow up and kill me at some point, but I was like, man, this is perfect. And then it's like I wanted the car, so I bought it. I'm like, it's the worst waste of money, like a car. Like if you
Yeah,
really enjoy being in a car, as you're saying, like go for it, dude. Spend the money. You don't have to justify it to anybody, but like
yeah,
I don't really like driving. I was driving what a mile and a half to work every day, and like
yeah,
that was it. I'm like, this is the biggest waste of money.
yeah.
But yeah, no.
Yeah, no,
Go get a new car, rock it, man. Like.
yeah. No, definitely the cars, I think, they've
How
said,
much debt you got over there, bro?
oh, oof,
Oof. I
yeah,
mean, minus the house. The house isn't real debt, right? Unless you're like upside down. Like that's different. So I wouldn't
yeah,
consider a house debt.
yeah. No, I owe my ex-wife, and
Ah,
yeah, right. It is what it is. And then there's like just a little bit of credit card debt, and then and I got solar panels on my house, so I still owe on those.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't owe over like I think it's somewhere like around 80. 80 grand or something like that. But I should be able to pay that off pretty soon. And then there's the house. The house is a whole lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. House is
Yeah.
different though.
Yeah. But yeah, the debt thing. I haven't really ever. I think this is probably the most I've ever been in debt, and and it's manageable because of I still work and I get paid a pretty good
Keep
amount.
keep rubbing it in. I get a job. I'll get a job one of these days. Here this
Hey,
week, the job hunt's gonna come up. I gotta figure it out so I can have this hippie life and get in this camper and
yeah.
go to some national parks and just relax. Like I don't
Hey,
know, and you
I'm
get
trying to
on
get like you.
a.
I want to be like, I mean, I don't want to be, unemployed, but I want to be a hippie like you and have like a remote job and be able to, move around and all that stuff. So yeah, don't feel too bad. You have the time and space to be able to figure those things out. I have to go in and salute people every day, and
Yeah,
so
nah, I'm not the one. I can't do it. Didn't do it
yeah,
well when I was in. Definitely didn't do it well afterwards.
yeah,
It's not my lane, man. I can't not be me, and that doesn't mesh well in like the
yeah,
professional environment.
yeah. No, I get it. I get it. Well, yeah, this is gonna wrap up our time. We're definitely gonna speak more about money in general. Like we just kind of wanted to just get a little bit of an introduction into like our thoughts about money and whatnot. But yeah, we'll get into, ways of making money. Obviously, we're figuring it out. And when I say we're in the ways of making money, as far as ways of us trying to figure out how to get there and stuff. So, and then you could take with it, whether you think it's a good idea, whether it's a bad idea or whatever and then use those to your advantage or learn what not to do from us. So
Yeah, yeah. I've made so many mistakes. I can share them all.
yeah,
That you can avoid all of them. But I
yeah.
am looking for a job. Hit me up.
Yeah, all right. Hey, someone out there offering jobs, my
I
homie.
mean, yeah, this is the perfect time to start the foot finder, all of that. So
Yeah, yeah,
start
yeah.
all of these things, give the feedback, see what to do, what not to do, step in the peanut butter, don't, but we're
Yeah,
gonna figure it out.
yeah. Well, I want to thank everyone for watching once again. And do you have any like closing comments or anything?
Yeah, man, I still need to work on the closing comments, but so peace, love, happiness, all that good stuff, man. Chill, have a good day. You're alive, you're here. Like it's amazing, man. Chill out, relax, enjoy life.
Yeah. Hey, those are
I'll
wise.
tighten it up, I'll make it better, more catchy, but
It is what it is. Hey, I'm coming off the dome too about what to say, and really, I just think in general in my mind, I always just think of, hey, look, get out there and do it. Two of my favorite mottos are just do it, and another one is when Bill Belichick, this is from the Patriots, when he was, doing all his coaching with Tom Brady and everything, he always told everyone, hey, just do your job. Do your job. And to me, what that says is like, hey, look, whatever you're doing, just do it. You
yeah,
got to do it and make sure that you're doing it in a way that's effective. You don't necessarily have to do it necessarily efficiently or, the right way at first, but make sure that you're just doing it. Make sure that you're putting your all into it, and that's
yeah, yeah.
that
I
was,
feel it.
those would be my closing comments.
I need to get more Mr. Rogers like, some hey neighbor, something like that. We're gonna figure it out. Let's know what you think. Tighten it up. We'll
Yeah.
workshop it. All right, man.
All right, bro. Hey,
Love
talk
you,
to you
man.
later.